NBA fandom is a place full of bad takes. Some are a bit mild, others are a bit worse. But no matter who you are, all NBA fans have bad takes. Or rather, hot takes. Opinions on the NBA that most would probably disagree with, but some may just see where you're coming from. And the other day, while scrolling through Facebook, I came across a post asking NBA fans to share their wildest opinions. Now, I saw this and knew I should have kept scrolling. It would have undoubtedly been the best thing for my mental health, but instead I got curious. I had to see just how bad or good some of these opinions were. I was not disappointed. Okay, so let's start with a real mild one. Say this out loud at your local barbershop and watch how quickly a room full of civilized adults becomes a cage match over a man they've never met. This user says that LeBron has won his last championship. And I'm compelled to agree with this, but honestly, no one knows. If you can recall back to 2015, after the Cavaliers lost to the Warriors, many people said the same thing then. LeBron would never win another championship, he needs a super team to win a title, yada yada yada. And then the very next season he won another title. Things got even worse after LeBron and the Lakers missed the playoffs in 2019. Now, I know y'all can recall this hysteria. People proclaiming LeBron was done, predicting that he would never see another ring again like they were some sort of basketball fortune teller. And then the very next season, LeBron and the Lakers pretty much walked their way to a championship. Will LeBron win another championship? Honestly, the odds are probably like 50-50. We've seen this story before, and one thing I've learned for certain is to never count out LeBron James. Apparently, others have yet to come to the same conclusion. Now, this next take sounds pretty absurd, but there's actually some validity here. This guy says that Tim Duncan had a more successful career than Kobe and should always be placed higher than Kobe on all-time lists. Is this a bad take? Well, let's look at the numbers. Both Duncan and Kobe have the same amount of championships, and they both have the same number of all-NBA team selections. Timmy has more regular season MVPs, more finals MVPs, and more defensive team selections. Duncan is arguably a top 5 defender of all time. But Kobe was a far better scorer and a more dynamic player all around. They both had long, extremely successful careers, and they both stayed on the same team until the very end. So who had the more successful career? Well, it's really close, but probably Tim Duncan. Again, sounds crazy, but when you look at their careers side by side, the edge goes to Timmy. But that does not mean Duncan belongs higher on all-time lists. All-time lists are not compiled simply off of achievements and accolades. All-time lists should be determined by the full scope of the game, a player's impact, their abilities, their dominance, and although their career achievements are similar, Kobe was simply a better basketball player. In fact, skill-wise, if we are talking outright basketball skill and ability, Kobe is arguably the most capable and skillful basketball player ever. And that puts him ahead of Tim Duncan all time, at least in my opinion. Although, if you have Duncan ahead of Kobe, I could see an argument for it. Okay, this next one is good, and I've never thought about it like this, but this user says that Russ and Harden are the definitions of good, bad players, which actually makes a lot of sense. When Russ and Harden are playing good, they're really good, absolute all-time talents. But when they're playing bad, they are borderline liabilities. Both are top 75 all-time players, but neither could be the best player on a championship-winning team. I think another way to think about this is that both players have extremely high ceilings, just as high as about any player ever, but both players have really low floors. This is nice. Good take. I'm literally gonna act like I never saw this. But unfortunately, this next one is just about as bad as the last. This user says that Shawn Kemp in his prime was just as dominant a force as Shaq. Hold on. Just gonna make sure I understand this correctly. Okay, so there is only one Shawn Kemp that ever played in the NBA. Just had to check. Because this take is so absolutely appalling, I almost thought there was a phantom player named Shawn Kemp that dominated the NBA like Shaquille O'Neal for a decade. Guys, why do we do this? Like, why do we have to be this way? Literally, for not a single moment, for not one single game, was Shawn Kemp as dominant as Shaquille O'Neal. And I mean this in the most literal way possible. From the day Shaq entered the NBA till the day Shawn Kemp retired, there was not a singular moment that Kemp was as dominant as Shaq. Look at this. Their careers overlapped for 11 seasons, and not once was Shawn Kemp as big of an impact as Shaq was. And before I have a stroke from reading one more bad take, I want to take a moment to thank today's sponsor, ExpressVPN. Every time you connect to an unencrypted Wi-Fi network at airports, hotels, coffee shops, or even at home, you're at risk. Hackers can easily steal your private information, your passwords, financial details, and even emails. Protect yourself and your information today with ExpressVPN. ExpressVPN encrypts your internet connection using the highest standards of encryption currently available. By creating a secure tunnel between your device and the internet, ExpressVPN gives its users security and peace of mind. I personally use it on all my devices. With the amount of information out there and the surveying going on these days, ExpressVPN is a necessity. They also give you unrestricted access to all parts of the internet. Think of a YouTube video that you couldn't watch, or a game that you were unable to stream. Well, these issues can be a thing of the past with ExpressVPN. Check this out. I want to watch Rick and Morty, but it's unavailable in my country. But if I use ExpressVPN, I can change my location with a few clicks, and there it is. Rick and Morty is now available to watch on my device. It doesn't get easier than that. A top-rated VPN provider by Mashable, TechRadar, and many more. I've left a link in the description below. Be sure to check that out to find out how you can get 3 free months of ExpressVPN today. That's ExpressVPN/Highroller. So here's a take that I see fairly often. This guy says Steph isn't actually that good. He just perfected a skill the NBA had never seen before and utilized it more often than before. I see what he's getting at, but this just isn't how things work. When you perfect a massive aspect of the game, that, by default, makes you good. And the fact that the three-point shot is utilized more now than ever before is actually a testament to how good Stephen Curry is. The man is hitting so many threes that he's got 7-footers out here jacking them up, just praying that for one day they could shoot like Stephen Curry. And the other part of this is that you can really spot a casual NBA fan by their opinion on Steph. People who think all he does is shoot threes are really putting their ignorance on full display. Just go ask Joe Harris. Dude can shoot the lights out, but he ain't no Steph Curry. Just being good at shooting a lot of threes doesn't get you 2 MVPs. Just like how giving bad takes on a Facebook thread doesn't mean you know what you're talking about. My guy, bad take. And our last take of the day says Giannis is a future top 5 all-time player. For those who've been watching my channel for some time now, you know that I'm really big on Giannis. He's not just great, he's all-time great. Realistically, Giannis could retire today and he'd probably be a top 30 player all time. The man just turned 27. That's the same age LeBron was in his 2nd year in Miami. And if we compare both LeBron and Giannis's numbers at the same point in their careers, Giannis is on track to becoming one of the greatest players to ever play the game. But top 5? Well, personally, I think if he can stay healthy, he definitely could end up top 5 all time. But let's take a look. I mean, if we compare Giannis's numbers to Bird's and Shaq's, Kobe's, he's right on track. He's still got a long way to go, but he's well on his way. Let me put it like this. If there's any player in the NBA under the age of 30 that could end up top 5 all time, it would be Giannis. So in my opinion, good take. But now, I need to see some of the hot takes y'all have. So leave a comment with an NBA opinion that you have that's so crazy, it might just be true. Or might be utter toilet water, but the crazier the better. Hope you all enjoyed. And as always, until next time.